this point.
Hey.
We're gonna take. That's why I hop on early, just because this always happens.
Yeah.
All right, Tiff.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys for bearing with us while we had some technical difficulties. But everybody understands in this IG live world we are in how stuff like that can happen sometimes. But we're here, Gullah Business of Charleston, with yet another feature. And we are so excited tonight because we have Mr. David Mosley of No Cappin coming to join us tonight. And so he has an exciting journey and a story about how he started his business. And so we're just going to go ahead and begin now. The first thing I wanted him to do, if he can give a brief introduction, David can, of how he started his business. And of all things, why hats.
What's going on, y'all? This is David Mosley, CEO of No Cappin Mobile Hat Store. Thank you for having me, first and foremost.
Thank
so
you.
To answer your question, no problem. Well, what inspired me to do a Black-owned mobile hat store is that I always love hats, headwear, and fashion overall. I started a few businesses in the past, and around COVID time, when things shut down, so did one of my businesses. So I had to reinvent myself, and I felt like maybe I should zoom into a certain niche. So I narrowed it down to hats. I always had a passion for hats. Also, I'm in Atlanta, so when I moved here years ago, I noticed a couple mobile stores, like a mobile sock store. Then there was like a mobile scrub truck that I bumped into. So I always kept that in the back of my mind. And when it was time to lock in on the concept, brick and mortar versus mobile, I went mobile.
All right.
That's awesome. Because I know you already said, I was going to ask you where were you located. So you said Atlanta. Do you often travel to different cities and do different events, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm about 45 minutes outside of Atlanta, north of Atlanta. And I do a lot of festivals, pop-ups, events in general. The van is multifunctional, so I could just freestyle it and pull up in parks. I could go through neighborhoods. I travel different cities outside of Atlanta. Like maybe the furthest I might have been is like Augusta, Savannah, which is like 3 hours, 2 hours. So I stay in the state, but I venture out.
All right. So this leads me to my other question. What challenges have you faced since you had your hat business, your mobile business?
Well, a few challenges that I faced. One specific was when I first launched the business. When I first launched the business, I was ordering merch from overseas, and due to COVID, the ships were stuck at sea or circling around sea, and they couldn't get into the ports to deliver the merchandise to the United States. So items that I ordered that should have took 30 days might have took 60 to 90 days. The problem was I had a window that was closing slowly. So I missed a lot of money waiting on merchandise.
I know that had to be like nerve-wracking, like, all this is happening and then I started this business. Wow. Oh, so that gets so how do you incorporate all your designs and into your business culturally, and any trends or anything like that?
Well, I incorporate different cultural elements by providing a variety of styles and designs, different price points, and overall different styles of headwear. I go from like sports cap, fedoras, visors, headbands. So I have a variety of different fashion. I also,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I also network with different designers and clothing brands. So say, for instance, I meet a clothing designer, he has caps. I might say, hey, send me 5 of them. Let's see what they do in the van. Test them out. That's a win-win for the both of us.
I know we were speaking earlier. You say you also have like things for your pets, for your dogs. You got collars
Yeah,
and jerseys and all types of stuff.
absolutely. Absolutely. I got pet merch. I got pet collars, pet jerseys. I got women's hats, kids hats, infant hats, men. So I got a variety of different stuff for everybody, the whole family, including the pet.
Wow. That's cool. So everybody can just pull up and get everything that you need. Take care of the whole family, mom, dad, everybody.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And just like looking at the list of inventory that you have, like for the whole household, even your pet family, your furry family, you know, like looking at that, why do you think it's so important to have representation and diversity included in your business? Why do you think that's an important concept?
I feel it's important to have diversity with fashion because people like different things. Also, I like to carry things for the whole family. So if I was to pull up to an event and a different culture, any culture could walk up to the van and it's bound to find something and leave with something.
So it's more so like with your whole brand, you want people to find everything they need at that one-stop shop, and if not, you get it for them. That's what I'm hearing. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
You do that. That's awesome.
So with a mobile company, you're pretty much already in the community. They see the van, they see it, they know what's going on. Like you say, you don't really have to, do much. We spoke earlier. The van speaks for itself when you see it. What other ways, social, like as far as social media, do you promote?
Well, for social media, when I first started the brand about 3 years ago, I was doing a lot of paid ads. And now it's more of an organic thing because my brand has the reach has reached millions. So I would say I mostly engage out and about. Like the social media thing, I let organic because when you see the van, it's wrapped. It has my phone number. It has the website. It has the social media handles. So there's always a call of action. So any one of my posts in the past or present on social media, it always has a call of action. So if the person likes what they see, they can press 1 or 2 buttons and it'll land them right to my website.
That's awesome. I like the accessibility because a lot of people don't think about that as much as they should. I come from a librarian type background and teaching, and a lot of times you lose a lot of people with a lot of clicks. So you just having that accessibility and stuff. I like it because, like, think about it. If you're in your car, you see a QR scan code or a button, you could just snap that, especially if
Exactly.
you were on the road or the interstate. You can't just stop in the middle of the road. So I like that concept. That's dope. So this leads to yet another question because you've been on it. Because like I said before, a lot of people that we feature, they're so intertwined with their business because it's just like a glove to their hand. You know the ins and outs of it. What other things have you used, like collaborations or partnerships that you use to pretty much to show the visibility of your business or broadcast it or promote it?
Well, I've collaborated in the last 3 years. I've collaborated with many up and coming brands, some larger than others. I don't discriminate. You just start a brand tomorrow. You got some dope ads. Send them to me. As far as like a celebrity, I have a partnership with a celebrity. He's on BET and MTV. Uh, so with partnering with this celebrity, which is Hitman Holler from Wildin' Out, MTV is Wildin' Out, it helped expand my reach dramatically because he's a celebrity. So he's on TV every day. He's doing movies. He's actually filming a movie as we speak. So the more that he improves as far as his celeb, the merch improves. So the more famous he gets, the more popular the merch becomes.
Okay. What future goals do you have for your business?
Well, one of the goals that I've been currently have in motion is creating vending machines, custom vending machines, to dispute some. Just sorry about that. Custom vending machines, so I can place them in high traffic areas like the airport or the malls, um, and also a fleet of vans. And the biggest thing that I'm trying to do is build the brand up to where I'll be able to one day sell it and move on to the next venture.
That's awesome. You've been thinking ahead of stuff like that, because I think more so with entrepreneurship, people don't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
When it gets to a certain level, you can decide to keep it or either sell it. But it's good that you have that scope. But I know we talked about it previously, but if you don't mind sharing like, your story, how you met your partner, because I think it's very important that a lot of people realize when you start businesses, just like you said before, this was not your very first business. A lot of people think like, okay, when they have celebrities back them up, they have to be a certain status. They have to have this, they have to have that. But would you mind sharing your story of how you met Hitman Holler with us?
Absolutely, no problem. I can share it. Well, I launched this business March of 21. Um, my first event was, well, I LLC'd the business in March. My first event after the van got built out and I received all my merch. My first event, it was micro event, maybe like 40 people was there. I just paid $50 to join a pop-up shop, and that was in July, same year. So after that first event, my girlfriend and I was prepping for the bigger event that we had paid to join, which was, I believe, Taste of Soul of Atlanta. Supposed to have maybe close to 1 million plus people walk through this event yearly out here in Atlanta. And I'm in the garage and I'm pacing back and forth and I'm telling her, like, we need to promote the van, and I'm thinking about which celebrity I could try to reach or contact to just pay them to do a promo. One of the people that I contacted, or one of the people that I mentioned, was like a Country Wayne. Then I was like a DC Young Fly. I'm like going back and forth with her, like, how much you think DC Young Fly would want to just do a promo, or Country Wayne? So we talked about that for like another 30 minutes. I would say about 4 days later, I'm coming from the gym and I stopped at the bank to get my business bank account for the No Cappin store brand. So I wasn't even done putting the business all the way together yet. I saw through the window what I thought was, he looked familiar. So I kind of just went out there, approached his truck. I asked him to roll the window down. I approached him as a fan because I'm a battle rap fan. So I asked him, what you got next coming up? He told me. I didn't want to hold him hostage, so I gave him a business card and told him, hey, I just started a mobile store. Maybe we could just do some business. So he took my card. 3 days passed. I didn't hear from him. So on the third day, I'm going to the barbershop out here in my area. I had just moved to a new part of town, so I was trying different barbershops. So when I pulled up, I looked over and I'm parked right next to the same truck that I approached 3 days ago. So when I got out the car, it happened to be him again. So I approached him again and I said, hey, well, like the first time I didn't have much to say, so I kept it short. But this time I did have something to say. And what I told him was, hey, I met you 3 days ago at the bank. I don't know if you remember me or not, but I had gave you my business card in regards to a mobile hat store. He kind of squinked his eye like he didn't kind of remember. But I said, well, when I went back in the bank, the branch manager asked me who did I go outside to speak to, and I told him it was Hitman Holler from Wild 'N Out. He told me, we don't call him that in here. We call him by his name. He's a businessman. So I said, well, I know how that resonates with you, Hitman, but for me, if he's saying you're a businessman and I got a business that I just launched, it's not far fetched from what you do anyway. You wear hats on a daily basis. I was like, maybe we could talk business. So at that point, he took me serious. He seen that I had something to offer him versus in reverse, people have their hands out. They always want somebody to give them something. So that's the key for those who, take it as you want, but come with some type of leverage, some type of uniqueness, and something that you can offer them versus always having your hand out for someone to offer you something. So anyway, he gave me his manager's number. The rest is history.
I love that. And you just stepped right on out. I love that because, some people be like, no, I'm not going to do that. But just stepping right out and just going up to him like, hey,
Yeah, but
this is what I'm
like
doing.
like I said, I approached him as a fan, and I've had several businesses in the past, so I know that your network is your net worth. So I'm big on networking. Before I had anything going on, and I worked 9 to 5, 2, 3 jobs at a time, I always kept a business card of something that if I was into fashion my whole life, so it could just say David Mosley, call me to get designed or call me for your latest designs. Anything that I wanted to fancy myself as at the time, I would put on a business card. Keep it generic or keep it specific. And I always handed out business cards. It was a point in time where people, my peers that I would hang out with from time to time, out and about, we out for different reasons. They out maybe trying to, have a good time or meet ladies. I'm out trying to network and hand out cards. I would leave the house with about 8 to 10 cards. If I come back with 8 to 10 cards, I didn't have a good night. There's been times I handed out business cards, and they're old fashioned, by the way. People sleep on them. I've handed out over 6,000 business cards before one finally hit. Whether I posted them in stores, 3, 4 of them. There's been times I handed out business cards and I would leave a certain location and see my business card on the floor. So whether I spoken it to the existence, whether it was my perseverance or whether it was just fate, my hard work paid off.
It did. It did. And before we move forward with this too, so David is not just in any ordinary place. He's actually in his van right now. This is his store that he's in right now. And so he's so dedicated to what he does and his brand. He wanted to give you all a glimpse. Like he works all the time. He wanted to give you a glimpse that this is what it looks like and putting everything into motion. Because again, when we choose these interviews and stuff, we've been very blessed, me and Nick, like Nicole, because the people that we've asked, they're so passionate about what they do and they know what our platform stands for. They want to give you like little seeds of wisdom. So it's not only them telling about their brand, but also to inspire you to go after some stuff. So please, whoever watches this later on, he just gave you some nuggets. Yeah. You have to be ready, even when it may not look like you're ready, because he just said he didn't have his business plan together. He was getting stuff together when he ran into them, you know. But he was always ready for the moment. Because think about it, you're not gonna carry your card around if you ain't ready for that moment.
Absolutely.
So that's dope that you sharing this story, and thank you again for coming on board with this. Because like I said, we don't take this as something just like mediocre. We really think of it as a blessing because we're here to help other people. Because me and Nicole both have businesses too, and we're here to help, inspire other people. And again, network is the key. Yeah. You can't do anything by yourself. And I think our generation kind of get twisted sometimes. Oh, I could do it by myself, this. No, it takes like, you're going to have to put some effort, but you're going to need some people along the way.
Mm-hmm. And
so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we can't forget this question right here. No Cappin. How did you come about that? No Cappin. How did you say, yeah, I need to get a name? No Cappin. How did that come about?
Well, interesting story. When I narrowed down the concept, hat store, mobile, I jotted down a few names. Nothing really stuck out, and I ran the names past my girlfriend. I asked her like, which name do you think I should go with? I read the names off, and she looked at me and shook her head no, and she was like, no Cappin. She was like,
Oh, is
down.
what
Like
weeks
I
was that on?
mentioned earlier, I went on the site
Oh
to
wait,
create that
David.
name.
David, can you repeat that? Because it went out. I
I'm
don't want them to
sorry.
miss this. Yeah, you can repeat it because it went out.
Okay, the way that I came up with the name No Capping, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so after I narrowed down the concept, mobile has store, I decided, okay, it's time to come up with a name. So I jotted down a few names. I wasn't really feeling them. Nothing really popped out to me. So I read the names off to my girlfriend and asked her what she thought. She shook her head no, and she was like, no capping, like caps, hats. She's like, it makes sense. So when she said that, I wrote it down and I went with that. I jumped on the site to get the LLC. No capping was taken. So I added your mobile hat store and it was a go.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I like that.
So we almost getting to the end of this feature, but we cannot end this without putting emphasis on words because we're all about affirmations because it is a true concept. Whatever you think, you will go ahead and act out. You know, so the words that you have around, like the words that you think to describe your situations, your businesses, all this other stuff, you have, you know, it can affect all facets of your life. So with that being said, we always ask everybody that comes on, what are 3 words that describe their business, which we know is their passion? What are 3 words that describe your business? And if you can explain why you chose them.
3 words that would describe my business is mobile hat store. The reason I choose mobile hat store is because it's one of a kind and it's never been done. The mobile stores, yeah, they've been done, but the concept of a mobile hat store has never been done. It's unique.
It's really unique. It's really different. I like it. I like that it's just convenient. you know,
It's
especially
unique.
like, yeah.
It's unique. It's custom built out to my liking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy it like this. Every inch of it from the front of the hood to the back of the bumper, I created. So
Oh wow. Wow.
Wow.
That's dope. That's dope.
From
So
a
I'm
entrepreneur.
I'm saying
That's
it.
dope.
So with that, I'm gonna ask a freestyle
Wow.
question. What advice would you give, because you've had businesses before, to an up and coming entrepreneur? Like what would you say?
some advice.
Some advice for them.
Well, this is this is advice for them, and it's advice for myself as well, which I recite to myself every day. Situations change by the day. That's the biggest advice I could give you. So
Mhm.
today's efforts, if you put any effort at all, may not seem like it's going anywhere, but tomorrow could be different. So
Mm,
keep going, and get your execution plan together. It's all about the execution. You could write down, plan out the plan you could do from A to Z, and you'll start second guessing yourself as if it's not right. It's not. I'm not ready. I don't think it's gonna work. Talking yourself out of it. But if you just execute it right, I guarantee the universe is gonna take it from there. It's
Mhm.
gonna go fast. Things are gonna start happening immediately. You just
hmm
got to give the universe something to work with.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. We're big on that. Affirmation, speaking positive, and like you did, you manifested that. You was like, I need this, and then you met who you
Yeah,
needed to
and
meet
it
like
came.
twice too.
But he was like, that's the thing about it. He was like in a posture. Because most of the time you think you're in a fixed spot, but he was in a posture to receive it.
Mm.
Because like the fact that he had in business cards, old school people call them calling cards.
Right.
You got your collar car. But it
Mhm.
makes so much sense. He was in a posture like, I'm gonna have this ready. I
Yeah.
don't know when it's gonna happen. You know, it wasn't if, it was like when.
When?
And
When?
so yeah,
Exactly.
and that's
I
the
never
biggest
see the first.
thing.
I
And
look for a win.
and we have to change our mindset. Stop saying if this happens, this happens. And no, it's when, because you just hit on it. It was really, you said when it happens
Yeah.
fast. So
That's
you
It
just
great.
need
is
to be,
prepared.
yeah, you need to be in a posture to receive it and to execute it, just like you said. But thank you again for sharing this. And I know before we get off and everything, Nicole, you have anything you
Oh
want to
yeah.
add?
How can people reach you? How can people shop?
The fastest and best way to shop is through my website, and that's at no-cappin.com. That's no-cappin.com, and we'll ship it out super fast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
That's cool. And then
accessibility on another level.
right, get everything you need for the
Got
whole
you.
Or,
family too.
we can
Got
pull up.
you.
Or if you're in Georgia, we can pull up.
Okay. All
Guys
right, Georgia Peace.
heard it. Y'all heard it.
hmm Okay. Are you going to be at any up and coming events or anything?
I'm planning that now. This is the time of year, the first quarter, where we normally plan out for the remaining quarters, and you got to start paying ahead and planning ahead. So I have some information for you probably within a week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll definitely post it up there. And I'm going to have all the information in this video too. And I just want to thank you for joining us for this interview. I mean, this was very empowering. Just keep going. That's what I learned from this interview. I really learned to keep going. Just, hey, be ready.
Be
Yeah.
ready.
You never know.
It's not
You never
if,
know.
it's when. It's
hmm
when. So
And I just want to thank everybody for watching too.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
Thank you for
thank
coming. And this has
you.
been awesome. This experience has been awesome. I mean, everybody that we've met so far has been awesome. And I just want to thank you again and much success to you in your business. And anytime you want to come back on, please let us know because we would like to have you back
Absolutely.
on.
It was fun.
Anything you want
Well,
to say,
thank
Tiff, before we
you.
close out?
Oh, yes. And if something happens, you don't catch us live. We also have a YouTube channel too. You can catch us at Gullah Business or Charleston YouTube channel, where we have listed and featured all our past interviews, any exciting reviews we've had. You can check us out there. But thank you again, David, for joining us, and we wish you the most success. We know you're already successful. It's already there. We just waiting on the next project you're gonna push out.
Yeah,
Because
I
this
can't
was
wait
Can't
for
wait
that.
to take you with the
awesome.
world.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, thank you again
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
All right.
And thank you
Thank
all
you.
for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Bye bye.